one more game to go then to complete our Tuesday card of fixtures. It sees Reece Colley in action up against John Hederson. It was the first game yesterday, the last one today. And to describe all of the action for one final time, here's Paul Nicholson and Matthew Edgar.
Thank you, Henry. Last game of the day. Last opportunity to get some points here for John Hederson and Reece Colley to keep themselves truly in the run-in, where Reece Colley, you feel, he's going to have to go pretty much clean from here with Lee Budgeon running away from things at the very, very top. The 23-year-old big title winner, the British Open, taking on the 49-year-old, the PDC World Cup winner 2021. He won that alongside Peter Wright.
Okay, first I get Reece to throw
if you look at the form line and the guide during that event, John Hederson was probably the star performer of the two. But being a non-ranked event meant he didn't get that prize money and the glory onto his rankings, and unfortunately lost his PDC Tour card. Well, we say unfortunately for some, but a bonus for the fans of the Super Series, because it means you're going to get to see him here all year long. This was the first game yesterday. Reece Colley winning that one 4-3. Did hit a big maximum in the last leg and won that key moment. That's something that he's been really finding quite well in the last couple of games.
66
key moments, some big averages. 101, 94 will round it up for him because it was a 93.94. I'll call that a 94.
60.
So, Reece Colley is going the right way.
Do you get the feeling, Matt, that maybe the loser of this game may be out of it?
43.
And joining the likes of Danny Smith on 8 points in being out of the running, because 6 points to chase
100.
down against someone like Lee Budgeon, who is on a bit of a run. That's a big ask, isn't it?
When there's only 10 points on offer, yes. Because that's all that's available tomorrow. 5 more matches to go within this group. 2 points a win. If you win all matches, you're on 10.
The last thing you need is to win all of your matches, and you want results to go your way as well. You're in a bit of a dogfight, and I suppose you have to be realistic that you haven't done enough in the first couple of days to be in control of the group.
121, Reece, 151.
I think this is much bigger for John Hederson, quite frankly.
I think especially considering, one, the fatigue that is clearly in John Hederson, and the fact that he'd really want to get out of this group. I think the worst case scenario, John has to get into that Group B.
96.
I don't think he can go in Group C and realistically see out winning this weekly title.
I agree with you.
But
he's got a problem here, and that's that Reece Colley has got the lead. A lovely 96 out. Again, he's finding a bit of a friend on the outer ring.
Game on.
Well, we would say he's got 96 problems. Well, Reece hasn't got any problems, has he? He saw it out pretty clean.
58.
Got to be careful what you say when you bring up that song.
92.
It comes with a parental advisory. Darts is a family sport. And you go up towards Aberdeenshire, places like Inverurie and Aberdeen, and Keith and Turriff. Great places that I've done exhibitions with John. The following for this sport is amazing. Small towns that you might not have even heard of. They'll pack out arenas with hundreds of fans. Mesmerising how they laud praise towards someone like John and their other Scottish heroes like Alan Soutar, Gary Anderson, Peter Wright, and a lot of others.
180.
Colley is taking the lead and running with it.
58.
He's in again.
129.
He's definitely figured something out today, hasn't he?
Always playing well. He's playing very well, and John Henderson is doing
60.
pretty
Reach
much
required
exactly what he
40.
did yesterday, and that's just weakened off a little bit as the day went on, which you can kind of expect and you can forgive him for, really, when you look at the sheer amount of darts
20.
and travelling and the highs and the lows of everything he's been through these last couple of weeks.
I've got a point to make about that in the next leg because it might not be far away.
123.
Credit to John,
Reach
who's
required 20.
left himself handily placed on a 2-darter. But Colley's on 5s.
Game shot on the second leg.
And John's pressure
Reece Colley.
does not tell as Colley takes a 2-0 lead. But you mentioned travelling. And I think the biggest point, or the biggest
Delegates Reece to
comparison we
throw
can make this
first.
week
Game on.
is that coming from the north of Scotland to Q School to go to the Challenge Tour, so it's down, then up, then down. You think about someone
140.
like Fallon Sherrick, who lives in Milton Keynes, own bed, 0 travelling, and even when she comes here to
140.
Portsmouth on Thursday, it's less than 2 hours away. It's a very different thing to have to do. You don't have to fly, and if you do have to drive,
45.
doing it from northern Scotland to the Midlands is a long old schlep.
Yeah, you feel like if it wasn't for that
81.
challenge tour, John would have probably flown down here. Got a flight down to Southampton Airport and come across like so. I know we've had players in the past that have
59.
flown down. I think Jim McEwen flew down before.
Yeah, Darren Beveridge, I think, was a flyer. I think Sean McDonald, when he played with us,
60.
he flew down from Aberdeen. I'm pretty sure that Niall Cullenton has flown, considering he lives on a different island.
100.
Having said that, one of the best players in World Seniors, Colin McGarry, doesn't fly. He's a bit like Dennis Burkamp. He lives in Northern Ireland and always goes via Stranraer in the car.
140. Reach record 157.
Wasn't Mervyn King one as well, who didn't like to fly?
Preferred not to fly. He'll fly if he has to, but he'd rather get in the Merv-mobile
59. John, you
or
require
the Merv
80.
wagon. Great first start from John. 5-5.
Game
Right in
shot
the
on
corner,
third leg.
like a Henrik
John
Larsson penalty.
Henderson.
Maybe that'll get his juices flowing.
Fourth leg, it's John to throw
Like another
first.
former Celtic
Game on.
penalty taker, Teemu Pukki. Plays for Norwich these days, doesn't he? I remember we had a conversation with Vincent van der Voort once. They were talking about football. And
100.
Vincent thought that the name Pookie was quite funny, so he kept walking up to John all day and just said, Pookie. All day. John was laughing.
140.
Yeah, it's funny when you've got those things that are in different languages, haven't you? And where or a noise or a sound means something in other countries. I remember when I was doing live stream, if I would have hit a double, I would go like Stephen Mulhern, he does the douche.
140.
And I'd go to the camera and do the Stephen Mulhern douche. But in America, that means something completely different.
Yeah, douche is it's basically a slang word, which is
22.
inherited from the French for wash bag.
Someone was trying to explain it was very similar to like a toilet brush.
140.
Pretty much. Wasn't sure of his position there, John, so just checked himself. He's had a few darts that have drifted into the one so far today.
81.
But he does get to a finish eventually. Colley's on double 12 after 10 darts.
Game
He's
shot
on nothing after 12.
Reece Colley.
This is a really good performance from Reece. And after being in the doldrums a lot over the last 24 hours,
It's Reece to throw
he might be the
first.
person
Game on.
who goes towards the top half of the table. A 4-1 victory would give him 10 points and an all-square leg difference.
140.
He would confine Henderson to a -3 leg difference on 8 points.
I said I felt like this week had come at the right time here for Reece Colley, so he's not got time to dwell on the disappointment of Q
100.
School and the Challenge Tour. He's come here, didn't go well for him yesterday. Start of today wasn't going well. He averaged 68 and lost 4-0. But the middle part of the day,
25.
he has really started to find some reaction. The 101 average, the 94 average, and then when Hederson just broke his throw, he comes back with a 12 dart leg.
42.
Certainly is finding some reaction, some quality at the right time.
I completely agree with you.
135.
He's not far away from the winning line right now.
There's not a lot that John Hederson can do from this point other than hope that Reece Colley takes the foot off the accelerator.
60.
Which is something you cannot bank on right now because he has certainly found the turbo in the last couple of matches. He's finding that reaction that was needed.
105.
He's gained 200 points here on John Hederson.
95.
Does not leave a finish.
196.
Reece Colley. 6 darts if he needs them. To wrap this one up.
Game shot on the match.
And Reece Colley gets over the line with a 4-1 success over John Hederson, who ends his day with back-to-back defeats. He came into this looking for a clean sweep through the card, and he's ended it the same way as yesterday, just tailing off a little bit towards the end of the day. Certainly that fatigue starting to show. Not for Reece Colley, he's the total opposite. He ends his day with 3 back-to-back performances over the 90. He did break the 100 in defeat, but this one gets him some points on the board. He's still in the hunt. It's a 4-1 victory for Reece Colley.